Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the name. So the name of the album is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is a bit of a strange name. And there's a very good reason for that. So because the Beatles had decided not to tour anymore, they weren't going to go and perform live anymore, they came up with this concept that the album would go on tour instead. So because the album was going to go on tour without the Beatles, they made up a pretend band or an alias band, okay? So they made up this band and they called the band Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So we now have a pretend band that don't really exist, and the Beatles are pretending that this album is that band. The album is supposed to replicate a live concert by the band. So in the album, you'll hear lots of crowd noise, lots of cheering. And that is because the whole point of the album was to make it sound like a band on tour. And each of the band members had an alias. So what that means is they made up a character for their part in the band. So for example, Ringo Starr is the drummer from the Beatles. That's the real drummer from the real band. And Ringo had an alias called Billy Shears. So in the pretend band, in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the drummer was called Billy Shears.